increasing workload and more things. We're asking her to do more things right now. And I think it's, we can certainly discuss it, but I would certainly like to see her get a little extra money on the hour.
I'll make a motion that we pay for the raise.
Been moved. Is there a second, or is there any discussion?
I'll second.
Second. Discussion? Everybody okay with it? Okay, well, Brian, I guess you'll call the roll.
Okay.
Spend some money.
Arden Gentry. Jeff Chambers. Mayor Carter Alexander.
Aye.
Johnny Mills.
Yes.
Mayor Leon Humphries.
Aye.
Next thing you need to do is to consider that letter of resignation of Michael.
I think I passed out to everybody here a letter from Michael Hughes tendering his resignation. And I'm going to, anybody that has any comments, it's a wonderful letter. It's well written. It sounds just exactly like Michael. And you have a copy if you have any questions or have any comments about it. Now would be the time before we...
You need a motion to add that to the agenda to accept or reject it.
Okay, we can, all right. Somebody makes a motion to put this on the agenda?
Yep.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Moved and second. We don't need a voice on that. That's all in favor of putting this on the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. So you have the letter. I hope you've had a chance to read it. And if there's any discussion about it, now would be the time to do that.
As far as I did just have a couple of questions, I think I'd run by Tom. There may be some questions as far as Mr. Hughes' contract, as far as a 90-day severance package, or I'm not sure the time frame that there is. Do we have a copy of that handy? Or
We can't find the contract. I mean, if Michael's got a copy of it, maybe he knows where it's at. I've not seen it. I've asked the mayor to look for it in the county's office over there. He can't find a copy of it. He does have some minutes or something where some of it was discussed, but if that is in the contract, then I'm willing to keep up our end of the bargain, without a doubt. But we got to find a copy of the contract, and I don't know where to look for it. Hopefully Michael's got a copy.
Well, since we don't have the contract, we really can't act on it. And that would prevent us from accepting his resignation.
but what it would do though is, as far as pay goes, you know, we could financially put Mr. Hughes at a pretty significant disadvantage when pay period ends next week or whenever. You know, not finding the contract, I don't know if that would be a good answer or not.
Well, I mean, it's his contract, so
Right.
he has the obligation to produce it. So my recommendation to you would accept his resignation with his pay to cease as of the end of this pay period, which I guess is tomorrow. And then if we can find a contract, then we can act on that later on.
If the contract is produced, I mean, if we can do this and make it a provision, you know, upon production of the contract, if we can find a copy of it, or the city got a copy of it, or Michael may have it in there in his office, I don't know. But until we read it in a document, I mean, we can't award
We can't do something without
90 days pay without seeing what the document says. That's my opinion. If we owe him whatever we owe him, pay him every nickel of it.
There are other factors too.
Hope that answers your question. I don't know any other way to do it. I mean, we can't reward him 90 days pay without something to go by. And quite frankly, I hope it's in there.
My recommendation would be that you accept his resignation with his payment through the end of this pay period.
Is there any more discussion about this? Before we take the vote, I do want to make sure that the people here and that the papers do understand that we would not be here today if it weren't for Michael. Everybody needs to understand that. There's been some problems, and there's going to be some more problems, but he's the one that knew the lay of the land. He's the one that knew the people in the state. he knew how to move the legislation forward. We wouldn't be here poised on it with an 85% complete water plant and the chance to serve our people were it not for Michael Hughes. And when we complete this, I would certainly hope that whatever he's doing, that he would come and stand there and get his picture made with everybody else, because he's been a big part of this to this point. And I want to thank him personally for what he's done. Now we need to proceed with this, receiving this letter of resignation. I don't know, how do we do that? We just vote on
You
this, accepting
You
it,
just
or what?
vote to accept the letter of resignation.
It's not involving money, so I'm going to,
And involve his, and pay him through this pay period, which was,
that's the motion. I move that we accept Michael's letter of resignation. And also, I mean, as he goes forward with his life, I mean, if he needs, you know, a letter of recommendation, I would certainly write it because of past service and because of the friendship that I feel with Mike. I move that we accept this letter of resignation. If there's no further discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
I oppose.
It's 4-1 for opposed. All right, that takes care of that part of it. So,